Madison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Yeah, okay, a military wife,
You.
a deep sea fisherman,
Jim.
and a lead conductor for an orchestra. That was actually pretty good.
That is pretty
good.
Love, Goff, and Darnold are unique names. Williams is a very generic name.
Almost as generic as Brown. I totally understand.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
He is Matt Hamilton, decked out in very cozy. You almost look like a Viking Packer fan.
Well,
because
I was,
you got
I was
like
trying
kind
to
of
show off my bear pelts already.
You got a Nordic look.
I've moved on. I moved on from the Viking game. I'm now showing off my bear pelts.
Yeah, so you got a Nordic look today with your vest, and you can see that at ESPN Madison on YouTube. And then you also can see Matt's got a nice little Packer flannel. Then you got your hat, which I told you, it's a very cool hat. It looks like a very high-quality, nice hat, but it is also a hat that you can't wear while doing the show.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to get earbuds so I can wear it during the show. Because I think it's kind of becoming my essence now that I love this hat so much. I'm just going to rock it all the time.
Matt, there's no way you can pull that off. You'll just forget forever. You forget things all the time. I don't see you remembering to get
I just got to remember once.
Well, you have to have the ones, and you have to have the adapter, and they have to be able to work. There's a lot of have-tos in there.
There's an adapter around your thumb to wear. And plus, Riley is so on top of it, he might even remember to bring buds for me.
Do you have one that has the 9 1/4 inch, because that's the one you'd have to have the adapter for?
They used to have these, sitting around here. There's somewhere in this office.
No, but do you have the actual earbuds that have that plug? Because most of them now come with a USB or USB-C.
Oh, yeah, I've got one with the little port.
9 3/4 or whatever.
Yeah,
as you get fully
earphone
inside.
or headphone port. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I always call it.
Why do you have that? What do you plug that into? You don't have a phone.
I have an old phone.
Not that old.
Not this.
Phone.
Well, I've had old phones that had those, and I just still, they came with headphones, and they just went into the drawer with all the other miscellaneous cords that I have.
Great. So
I've got a bin of cords, and there's definitely some headphones that will work in there.
Riley Yauk behind the glass. Primetime Lorsheim. Does he work here anymore? Is he sick? Is he dead? Is he quit?
It's just on a break.
Is this on a break?
Need off for Christmas.
Honestly, I don't.
The
blame
holiday
him.
season.
He definitely needs a break. He has to deal
From
with
you
us
guys.
a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you need a break soon?
Yeah, probably.
Next
That's why
week.
Ryan's coming back on Friday. I can only handle 2 more shows, and that's it. I'm out.
He only we're off the next 2 days, and we're back at it on Thursday and Friday. It is one of those weird times where I don't necessarily know what day it is or what time of year it is. I'm looking forward to the first week of January just so I feel like I have my footing again. Because he's sort of like...
So, nobody's working right now.
Right, I work one day, then I'm off the next couple of days, and then I work again. That's even weirder. Who is actually working. But the Packers didn't work last night, or yesterday afternoon for most of the game. And that's where we're going to start.
For me.
844-770-3776. We have some text coming in already. Ryan, a psychedelic advisor, chimes in. Let's go! Finally, Jim, Matt, and Molly, my favorite part of the day.
Let's go.
I like that.
It's my favorite part of the day, too.
And then TJ from the road. Jim, your show, our show. But he says your show, but it's our show.
No, it can be your show.
Is by far the best in Wisconsin.
Wow.
The worst is KBN because it's a blank measuring contest.
Amen.
We don't have to measure here. We know. All right.
Yeah, we all know who the boss is, don't we, Jim?
Yes, exactly.
We're all aware.
Molly Brown out with babies.
The boss, the real boss, she wins that contest.
She is out with babies. She'll be back in March. So the Packers lost 27-25. And if you just opened up
just
your
makes my blood boil hearing you say it. Like, anyone else could say it and I'd be fine, but hearing you say it, I just want to come over this table and punch you.
The Packers lost 27-25. Michael Chrissy Everett, sort of Jim Everett. Sort of thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Say the Vikings won again one more time, Jim.
I dare you.
The Packers
like me.
Lost to the Vikings 27-25. I did have them. I'm going to put Riley under the bus here. I thought we'd do one day. We thought we were doing ESPN Madison picks on social media.
Okay, that is on myself and Pablo Iglesias. We both completely forgot, so neither of us reminded each other, and we didn't get anyone's picks, so no graphic went out. It would have been good this week. We are going to have ESPN Madison picks for the final week of the season against the Bears and for however long the playoff run lasts.
I don't mind that you missed because I was going to pick the Packers to win. And I would have been wrong. So
I would have as well.
I put it out on Blue Sky. You can follow me at Jim Rutledge on Blue Sky. I've got the Packers winning today 24-20 over the Vikings, and Jacobs continues to make the offense go. He did not. I guess the running game statistically is better than the passing game was yesterday, just off of.
I mean,
let me give you some
Jacobs
numbers.
still looked like the shining star of that offense. Like, even though it didn't look great, like, he still had some pretty good plays.
He did. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to try to do this one more time, Matt. Don't fight me. The Packers lost to the Vikings 27-25.
We get it.
And the Vikings had 20 first downs via the passing game, 26 overall first downs. The Packers had 11 first downs via the passing game, 17 overall. The Vikings completed 77% of their passes for 441 yards. The Packers completed 63% of their passes for 271 yards, 6.3 yards per attempt, 4.8. I'm sorry, that's overall yards, 441 for the Vikings, 271 for the Packers. 6.3 average yard per play, 4.8 for the Packers. 8.5 yards per attempt for the Vikings through the air, 5.1 for the Packers. Packer rushing game, though, 104 yards to 69 for the Vikings. That was one thing, and it is interesting. What makes the Packers have a much better, and I saw this pregame, they are very good against the run, but it hurts them in the passing game because they blitz, they basically run blitz, and then when teams run the play action, which Minnesota and Detroit are very good at, it leaves the Packers very bare on the back end. Nobody wants to be bare on the back end.
No.
And they get exposed. And obviously.
Their bare back end gets exposed?
Exactly.
Jeez.
But that's
it's a family show, Jim.
I'm just describing what happened to
Golly.
the Packers against Minnesota. Their
We
bare
don't
back
need
end.
to hear about your Christmas.
Their bare back end got exposed. And because their bare back end got exposed, they are now staring the 7 seed straight in the face. But before we get into the future, Matt, I'll let you bucket dump.
I don't know what to blame. Well, so here, I can elaborate on that. I feel like either Jordan Love at the end of last year was slinging it, right? Mm-hmm. And we pulled up in our stats, every time he's at a game over like 29 passes, he's got a pick. And, that doesn't surprise me too much. But it also, more attempts, obviously. But it also makes me wonder, like, are we not throwing it because I say as Matt LaFleur, is he not comfortable with where Jordan Love is at to, like, try and play in a shootout style game? Like, I love that we have a run game. Mm-hmm. I think it sets up a lot of good scheming opportunities for Matt LaFleur with Jordan Love. But the part that I'm just not getting behind is last year you'd see almost 30 passes a game out of Love, and he was doing better with them. Like, his percentages was higher near the end of the last season. And I don't know if Matt LaFleur doesn't have the chutzpah to call these plays the way he really wants to, or if he doesn't think Jordan Love has all the tools to run the offense the way he would love to call it. It felt like a lot of the other games this season, whenever we had our backs against the wall, that's when the offense, and granted, I know the defense is playing a little bit more of a zone, a softer zone, so they're keeping all the play in front of them, trying to bleed time off the clock. So I know it's easier to move the ball when you're losing by 2 scores, but the Packers are able to move the ball late in games out of necessity. It's like, where is this sort of feeling of necessity to move the ball early in the game? Like if LaFleur called the fourth quarter in the first quarter, are the Packers in the same position they were at after the first quarter, or more particularly the second quarter where they didn't put up a point? If they call that fourth quarter style offense in the second quarter, does it work out? Like, was it because the Vikings were playing a little bit more of a softer zone, prevent defense, if you will, and just trying to bleed clock to make the Packers like earn every yard? Or was that actually schemed right, but we're only doing it out of necessity? Because I just feel like the offense looks so ho-hum, and then when they're backed into a corner, you're like, wow, okay, they actually can move the ball.
Okay, a couple things off of that. One part is Jordan Love. He didn't look accurate or comfortable for most of the game. For an example,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, so for their first series, after their first series where Josh Jacobs had the fumble, Jordan Love, they threw 3 straight passes. Every one of those passes reminded me of a young QB. He was holding on, and he's in his 5th year. We got a text from Brandon in Tulsa we'll get to in a second, and you can chime in. And I want to ask this question, since we're getting text messages in unsolicited. I'm going to start soliciting text messages. Who has more confidence in their QB, the Vikings or the Packers?
Oh, that's not even a question.
But the Alpha Match thing, 844-770-3776. You also can bucket dump on that. 844-770-3776. Who has more confidence in their QB, the Vikings or the Packers? Or do you want to ask it who should have more confidence in their QB? If you want to make it a question.
I mean,
Let's ask it like that. That makes it more of a question. Who should have more confidence in their QB? The Packers or the Vikings? 844-770-3776. So back to the first series after the Jacobs fumble. Jordan Love held it, and kind of threw a back foot throw that, hit the fingertips of one of the receivers, but not an easy play. Right. And then he had another throw like that, and then he had one that was almost picked off. But all of them, he was holding it, and I don't have the all-22, but one thing I know about LaFleur, he does a very good job of creating options, dump-down options for Jordan Love. And instead of getting the ball out quick, it just felt like already he was big game hunting, and that's when he's at his worst. Now, I know I do the anecdotal less than 30 passes, but where Jordan Love struggles is when he plays this big game hunting, I have a cannon for an arm, I'm going to try to make this awesome play, as opposed to I'm going to be efficient and get the ball out of my hands quickly. And Jordan Love at his best is when he gets the ball out of his hands quickly and maybe 2 or 3 times a game makes it a spectacular throw. And early on, his completion percentage was abysmal before the last drive even of the game. I mean, that kind of cleaned it up a little bit.
The whole season didn't seem – I wanted to step up from 61%. He might be like 62.
He's basically the same quarterback as he was last year.
Just more consistent.
Was breaking it down. Yeah, I think last year was like 240 some yards a game, and this year is like 230. He's averaging basically a touchdown and a half per game and a half interception. Like if you broke it all out, like that's what he was last year. He's the exact same quarterback statistically. He's just not as streaky. Although,
here's the thing: is last year at least you saw and had hope with the top end. We never saw anything close to what top end. Like Jordan Love's best games last year, I didn't see it once this year.
Let me ask you a question because this surprised me. In 844-770-3776, who should have more confidence in their QB, the Vikings or the Packers? 844-770-3776. I do want to share this from Rob Domofsky. Jordan Love was 4 of 10 for 77 yards on passes with at least 10 air yards on Sunday. He had a 40% off-target percentage on those throws. So he was not at all feeling it. So I think that was
4 of them weren't even on target, and then 2 of them were defended.
That's the way that they're describing it. Yes, and so it was just not good. And you watched the game. I mean, he just didn't look like he was dealing. Nothing felt comfortable for him.
That's my question. So we get into the 30 throws thing.
Yep.
Like we talk about like some running backs, right? Like you really got to beat them up in the first half with this running back, and the more carries and touches they get by that second half, they can wear down a defense, and that's when you're going to start chunking them for yards. Is Jordan Love like a rhythm guy? Is he one of those guys who would play better with 35?
Well,
I know this year, but this year we haven't really catered to it, where at the end of last year we were relying on Jordan Love's arm.
Because here's I agree with you saying,
but now that we're not relying on it, I think he doesn't have that same instinct that he had last year when he was like, it's me or we die.
So would it surprise you, how many 4-touchdown games did Jordan Love have last year?
4?
Yeah.
1?
0.
He had 0.
How many 400-yard passing games did he have last year?
I think he had 0 last year. But he had a couple 300-yard games. He's got 1 this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. That he's maybe not the dealer that we think he is.
Okay, well, just because he's not going to be like a Josh Allen type deal or a Joe Burrow, a guy who.
But those are the only ones you really want to let cook. Otherwise,
but sometimes don't you want him to like get into a little bit more of a rhythm? It just felt like when he did get his chances to throw, he did look a little lost.
Okay, but it reminds me a little bit. I get what you're saying, but you have to have the results to buy into it. So you look at Detroit. They run to set up the pass, and then Jared Goff gets cooking. And the Vikings, unfortunately, they weren't able to run the ball if you're a Vikings fan, but Sam Darnold came out and he was dealing early. But the other part of it is that Sam Darnold has that Jordan Love doesn't have. Sam Darnold has elite playmakers.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love doesn't have that in the passing game. Jaden Reed has 189 receiving yards over his last 7 games this season. That ain't it.
Yeah.
Christian Watson's unreliable. And Tucker Kraft is fine.
Tucker Kraft's our best offensive weapon outside of Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, right. At
Depends
this
on the
point,
game because early in the year was Reed.
Well, no, and it was Reed, but like right now, you ask me who's your star pass catcher. I think it's Tucker Kraft.
844-770-3776. Who should have more confidence in their quarterback, the Vikings or the Packers? Today, I have confidence in myself because it's not quite the new year, but I went over to Carbon World Health. I got a good workout in. Sweated out a lot of Christmas and holiday season just overeating. And it wasn't even like I ate crazy, but it's just one of those things where you're just not eating well, and you're just eating a lot of salty food. I felt like after every family meal, I needed to drink 2 gallons of water because you're just covered. You're just too much salt in the food. So all that good time, you gotta get back to work, Matt Hamilton. And so did the cryo, did the workout today, semaglutide. There's so many great options at Carbon World Health, whether it's their location in Sun Prairie, their new location, or their location off Whitney Way. Carbon World Health will help you be your best self going into 2025. Ask them about hormone optimization, semaglutide. You can ask them about cryotherapy. You can ask them about red light therapy. All great ways to help you be your best self going into 2025. Our question is, who should have more confidence in their QB, the Vikings or the Packers? This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
The number 7 just got a whole lot luckier because of Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu. Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites from pizza, pasta, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and so much more. All for $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With this lucky deal, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have both at Pizza Hut. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Tune into Jim, Matt, and Molly every Friday for Fish Friday. Brought to you by Off-Broadway Draft House, Madison's favorite spot for a Friday fish fry.
We're going to skate to one song only.
He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Riley Yauk behind the glass. You can watch us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. You also can follow us at Jim Matt Molly at ESPN Madison. Lots of different ways to get into the show. And we are asking you the question. It'll be posted at ESPN Madison soon by Riley Yauk. But we have people chiming in on the question. Who should have more confidence in their QB? The Vikings or the Packers? 844-770-3776. This started a little bit with Matt Hamilton's fair, and look, I saw a lot of Packer fans on social media had the same lament as you as far as maybe just let Jordan Love cook. And I'm gonna give you some stats in a minute, Matt Hamilton, as far as quarterbacks in the NFC North against the NFC North, because I think we all can agree the NFC North is the best division in football, and I wanted to see how they compared to each other. So I put in the work. It wasn't a lot of work, but I had to use a calculator and everything, so the numbers could be a little bit off. But Brandon in Tulsa wanted to chime in. Hey, just wanted to ask Jim and Matt a question about Love. 2 years into his starting career, 5 years total, I don't think he's the third Hall of Fame QB in a row. I think Jordan Love is Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins. Accuracy and great decisions are not Jordan's strength. Doesn't have elite arm. I think he has an elite arm. He does not have elite accuracy. So maybe that does skew the elite arm. Like, he's got elite arm strength. His accuracy is average at best. It's actually below league average for the last 2 years. He's below league average as far as completion percentage. Mm-hmm. I know what I see, and he's not special. He's just good. And there's no question that Jordan Love is good. And now the next question is, he is not, so far, there's still the playoffs to rewrite this season for Jordan Love. I think it's fair to say so far this year, Jordan Love has not improved dramatically. He's been, I would say, just a more even keel version of what he was last year. There's not the big lows. There's not massive highs. You kind of just what you're going to get most games out of Jordan Love.
Yeah, what I will say about Jordan Love and his improvement is he did a good job at winning the games we were supposed to win this year, regardless of whether it was by a point against a team you should have blown out or a team that could have kept it close and you beat them pretty good. Like, I don't really care. At the end of the day, it's still about W's and L's. The games that you would expect the Packers to win, Jordan Love helped orchestrate that and come out with a W, and that was not the case last year.
That's
now, granted,
he's more statistically.
he got some more wins against teams that were playoff caliber last year, and I haven't gone through it, but I gotta believe there was one, because right now he's 0-5 against playoff caliber teams this year.
I
guess
the
Rams, but I'm not counting the Rams because they didn't have their two best players.
So I think Houston is technically going to make the playoffs.
Okay, we'll give him. Even if you want to give him two, he's 2-5.
Yep.
Against playoff caliber teams this year. He leveled out, but
I would say consistency has been his improvement. See, and that's what you're getting at. That
but like it still showed that. I appreciate the consistency, but I'd still like to see like the random highs.
Well, right, that's
right,
where
like everybody does. But and last year, I'm almost like at least the lows and the highs made the whole thing kind of fun last year.
So
this
last year there was no expectations.
It didn't seem like fun because the lows weren't really there, but like we didn't really have any like, wow, that was awesome. Like our best win that we were the most hyped for was the Houston win.
But that's
all season.
That's also the victim of expectations. 844-770-3776. Who should have more confidence in their quarterback, the Vikings or the Packers? Jordan Love, his best season, or best game this season, in my opinion, was against the Cardinals at home. 69% completion percentage, 258 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. So that was the game where he balled out. He had no 300-yard games this season. He hasn't had
the Minnesota game was 300, but it was all garbage time.
Oh, you're right. Since that point, and he has not had a 3-touchdown game since the Texans game.
Right.
So,
and again, I don't.
And he has not had a 70. He had 74% completion against Seattle, but he's got a lot of 55, 56, 62% mixed in there too.
See, that's where for me, I feel like I'm a little bit more of a, especially the way they're playing this year. I'm more of a fan of the completion percentage this year.
But it's not good. It's
no. Oh. But that's why I'm saying like that's the issue. Like I don't really care about the touchdowns. I don't really care about the touchdowns because Josh Jacobs is kind of getting a lot of those touchdowns. Like I'm fine with that. Like okay, your touchdowns aren't what they were last year. Like that's fine. We kind of changed the scheme a little bit. Last year we were living and dying by Jordan Love, so you would need the touchdowns to win games. This year, if he was as like. Let's say he was high 60s, low 70s for accuracy, this season would look entirely different because you'd still have Jacobs to pound the rock in. Like, that was the biggest issue for Love this year, and that's like the stat that I have the biggest beef with this year is you got to throw less passes this year, but you actually got 1% worse at completion percentages.
And that's a really good stat to come back to in a second here. We're going to do a little blind stats for Matt Hamilton. I'm not going to ask you to attach them. I just want to share them to you, and then I'll give you the names. We don't have to bury anyone on it. TJ from the road chimes in. I blame the Packers' mediocre performance against good teams to below average defensive line, pass rush, and offensive line not giving good protection to the QB. I agree on the defensive line. It does seem like
the O-line's okay.
The O-line's good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm watching a horrendous offensive line. Jordan Love likes the big game hunt, so I think he's holding it a little too long.
I don't think I'm blaming the O-line. I think it's the defensive line. Their lack of ability or their ability or lack of ability to get pressure with the 4 rushing, the 4 down men.
Also, the Vikings have one of the best pass rushes and defenses in the league, so I think that comparison isn't apples to apples.
Well, no, but just like in general, if you take out the game against Tennessee and Seattle, we have a terrible sack number. Like, we do not get pressure on the quarterbacks. And if you were to look at that number, and this is some advanced analytics stuff, if you were to say, how many sacks do the Packers have just rushing 4, not with a blitz? We might not have 1. If you take out the Tennessee game
I'll
and
look
the
into
Seattle
that
game.
because I feel like the number has to be astronomically low.
It is terrible. Like, they have to blitz. And like Jim said, when you blitz, you expose your bare back end.
And they have to, and they are blitzing to stop the run too. It's not like it's just a pass rush issue. They are stopping the run, but they are bringing in run blitzes. HVAC guy in Albany. I just drove through Albany a couple times over the last few days on my way down to Judah and Orangeville. Love needs to stop throwing off his back foot. Drives me crazy. Tom Clements needs to get on his ass this week. That's fair. Joe Nabooney says Vikings to our poll question. Ryan, a psychedelic advisor, says Vikings to our poll question. We also have TJ from the road chiming in. Vikings to our poll question, but Joe Nabooney's added, they let Darnold throw 43 times because they realized they didn't need to run. He had one of the best games of his career despite throwing an interception. Doesn't mean we can't get there with Love. I think all that's fair. And JJ and Pornett chimes in, I think this team is better than last year's team. However, the Lions, Vikings, and Eagles got more than proportionally better. And I think the perception of our team is skewed by our inability to keep up with the Joneses. And that's my point, JJ.
What if we didn't? What if the Lions and the Vikings made the appropriate jump that you would expect from a team, and we didn't meet the same expectations? What if the Packers didn't make the appropriate, and they didn't? Like, let's not assume that the Lions and the Vikings exceeded expectations. I would go so far as to say the Packers didn't meet it, and they did exactly what, like, we expected the Lions to do exactly what they did this year.
Minnesota exceeded, I would say, just off of Sam Darnold hit.
Yeah, and again, that was more of a name thing. Like, if you were to take the name out and just look at them outside the box.
Oh, we're going to do that in a second.
No, I'm just saying that Sam Darnold looks. The fact that you don't think a number 3 overall pick could step in and beat Kirk Cousins,
better than Kirk Cousins,
better than Kirk Cousins. So, like, that shouldn't have surprised. It did surprise me, but that was more of just me playing on the feeling that I know Sam Darnold,
and that's fine. That's coming into it. Like, I do this all the time.
There's Viking fans that felt that way.
I don't like this getting burned on it. It's like right now when we're talking about the Green Bay Packers today and in the regular season. That's one conversation. Things can change in the playoffs, just like Sam Darnold. But all you have to go on for Sam Darnold or in some of these situations is what they've done so far. It doesn't mean that things can't happen to change your perception of it. So let's fire up the NFL music. I'm just going to give you the quarterbacks in really no particular order. All right, this is NFC North quarterbacks against the NFC North. And you're going to guess who they are based on the record. So it's not really about that part of it. But this quarterback is 5-0 against the NFC North. 75% completion percentage.
Oh, I know it already.
1,265 yards passing against the NFC North, and he threw for 11 touchdowns and 1 interception against the North.
That's got to be Jared Goff.
That is Jared Goff. All right, next on my list here, 61% completion percentage against the NFC North. 1-4 against the NFC North. 1,314 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions against the NFC North.
Ooh, part of me, at first I was thinking that was Caleb. I'll stick with Caleb.
That's Jordan Love. All right, this quarterback, 70% completion percentage against the NFC North. 4-1 against the NFC North. 1,472 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions against NFC North opponents.
Sammy D.
Yes. This quarterback, 0-5 against NFC North opponents. 63% completion percentage, 1,352 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Caleb.
Yes. So, weirdly, and I don't see this happening, if the Bears beat the Packers, both Caleb Williams would have 1 win against the NFC North.
Yeah.
And Caleb would have a statistically better season depending on what happens in that game.
Against the North.
Well, actually, overall, they're pretty dang close. But
we're not you talking about the North here, bro. Let's not carry it over.
Stats lie on that part of it. Jordan Love is a more advanced quarterback than Caleb Williams. When I talk about what Jordan Love does bad, it's because at times he regresses to look like a youngster like Caleb Williams. Jordan Love, at his best, and he's got great coaching with Jordan Love and Tom Clements, is much closer in that Sam Darnold, Jared Goff situation. The weird thing is he's just not bringing it consistently. And it's really, you brought it up earlier, it's the completion percentage.
Right.
It's the accuracy. The best quarterbacks, 75 and 70%. And that's, you look at the top quarterbacks in the league, That's where they live. And now we're 2 years in. Whatever, Jordan Love, I think you go 100 for 100 against the Bears. He's still not getting to 70%. So, that's just what is, I think, just the biggest thing holding back Jordan Love, and that's what he needs to work on in the offseason. So we'll continue this conversation. We also have green and gold blind rankings coming up. But, Matt, I want to hear about Metcalf's market.
Yeah, you do. That's because we are coming up on maybe one of my favorite holidays of the year, New Year's Eve. Don't show up to that New Year's party empty-handed. Get to Metcalf's. Check out their liquor selection. They've got fantastic selection of bottles, beer. Maybe get yourself a bottle of champagne to pop at midnight. Also, you can't show up empty-handed. There's probably hors d'oeuvres and stuff. Check out all the delicious cheeses they have. You can't go wrong. They've got Wisconsin cheeses. They've got Italian, French, all over the world, specialty cheeses for you to make that charcuterie board for New Year's. And let's not forget about the fantastic Piedmontese beef. Maybe you're doing steaks. Maybe you're doing a little surf and turf. Maybe you need the whole rib roast for prime rib. Metcalf's has you covered with a fantastic selection in the meat department. And if you're a Metcalf's member, you can save money on all of these things. Check out online to see all the amazing deals, thousands of deals. They have ways for saving you money here in Madison, in Hilldale, and on the west side. One in Wauwatosa. Go save money. Go buy local. Go get some local food from your local Metcalf's market and bring local home.
I'll give you this stat as we go to break. League average last year, Jordan Love just hit it. League average completion percentage was 64%. The league average this year is 65%. He's at 63%. Top quarterbacks in the league completion percentage: Tua, Baker, Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr, Patrick Mahomes. I'm just listing ones who are regular starters at this point. And I'm skipped down to Matthew Stafford. Then you got Brock Purdy. Then you got Justin Herbert. Then you got Dak. Well, he's been out for a while. Russell Wilson. Then you got Josh Allen. And then you got...
For an MVP, he's pretty low.
He is.
63% right now, 63.6?
Yes, but then he has the massive 7.7 yards per complete or average pass attempt, 3,700 yards passing, and he's got a 28-6 touchdown interception ratio. Josh Allen is the outlier. He's just the guy
Well, it's one of those things. Like, even when Josh was throwing picks, they let him cook because they're like, you know what? He only needs like 80 yards to make up for a pick.
Can I say who I think the MVP should be this year?
Lamar?
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
4,641 yards passing, 42 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and fingers crossed if the Chiefs beat the Broncos and the Bengals beat the Steelers, the Bengals are in the playoffs. And to me, that should get him it because those numbers are insane. Oh, he's completing almost 70% of his passes this
year.
They
wouldn't even be sniffing the playoffs with any other quarterback.
Yes.
Well, that's true.
Their whole line is horrible. His defense is horrible.
You're definitely the most valuable player, but if you're not, even with you on the team and you're not valuable enough to make the playoffs, I don't think you can be the MVP. If he makes it,
because then they'd have, I believe, 10 wins. I believe I don't know exactly where they're at on wins, 9 or 10 wins. But if they make it, are they?
It's tough because there's only 28 touchdowns from Josh Allen, but he's also rushed for 500.
I know
this year and has 12 touchdowns.
So
the guy, as far as total yards, they're pretty close. Josh Allen's at, if you include his rushing yards, he's at 4,200 yards, a little over. And then you include his rushing touchdowns.
There's a 400-yard difference there, though.
What's
461, 4,641.
Yeah,
70%
almost
completion percentage.
4,300 yards.
How many touchdowns for Josh Allen?
If you include his rushing, it would be 40.
42 for Joe Burrow.
Right, so it's super close.
It is.
And you've got a team that's clearly really good, and you got one who's just maybe going to limp into the playoffs.
I agree. It's just Joe Burrow is special. We'll do green and gold blind rankings next.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
How good would it feel to start the new year by losing those unwanted pounds? At Madison Weight Loss, our Metabolic Reset program can help you finally lose those pounds without all the stress and frustration of trying to figure it out on your own. The secret is our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation and learn why your metabolism may be sabotaging your goals.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and everyone's always looking for ways to be healthier and lose weight as we start a new year. Contact the team at Madison Weight Loss. Do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration without packaged food or injections. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days and have the tools to keep it off long term. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's always pressure. You got to find ways to deal with that pressure and handle it as best you can to be the best.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
Obviously, there's going to be things that turn up along the way. You got to be able to adjust.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
The Packers fall 27-25 at the hands of the Minnesota Vikings Sunday evening in Minneapolis. Now the Packers likely in position to be the 7th seed in the NFC playoff picture. Head coach Matt LaFleur knows the team can't get down by 17 points against a quality opponent.
You can't get down against good football teams, and if there's a lesson there, that is the lesson, because it's tough to come back. I think our guys continue to fight and battle and scratch and claw, but ultimately we just can't put ourselves in a hole like that.
The Packers close out the season Sunday at Lambeau Field hosting the Chicago Bears. Kickoff is set for noon.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
No sleep till!
Who should be more confident in their QB? Matt LaFleur and the Packers or Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings? 844-770-3776. Right now, 59% of you say the Minnesota Vikings. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Riley Yauk behind the glass. Appropriate song for Riley because I forget which member of the Beastie Boys, but one of them has the last name of Yauk.
Adam Yauk.
Adam Yauk.
Yep.
There you go.
It's spelled slightly differently, but I can't tell you any other even remote celebrity with the last name Yauk. So, pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people, when they came to America, changed the spelling of their name, but the pronunciation stayed the same. So, it's, you know, you might be loosely related.
Maybe you're an honorary Beastie Boy.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
I should reach out.
Yeah.
And ask.
Absolutely. There's probably some.
You mix the Brass Monkeys and bring them in here.
Yeah.
Those funky monkeys. Get into the show, 844-770-3776. We're going to get to green and gold blind rankings in a second. Let me tell you about J&K Security Solutions. Jeff and Kim and Jeffrey at J&K Security Solutions provide a family-owned, a veteran-owned, and a locally owned business that will help with commercial fire detection, commercial security, but also home security and home automation. So J&K Security Solutions, support local, support veteran-owned, support family-owned at J&K Security Solutions. And we'll get back to your poll question. We also have Don't Quote Me coming up a little bit later in the show. We have Throwing Stones. We have Mark Tauscher coming up later in the show. Jam-packed show, continuing to talk about the Packers' loss to the Minnesota Vikings. They lost 27-25, not truly indicative of that game. The biggest part that surprised me after that game was I did not realize this was in play, that the Commanders are in line to be the 6th seed as long as they beat Dallas, which means the Green Bay Packers, statistically, Jordan Love's going to have a very similar season to what he had last year as far as per game. He's going to be a little bit short because he missed some games, but as far as per game averages, and then the team is going to be the 7th seed like they were last year. They might have more wins, but they are the 7th seed.
And they're going to go and punch the 2 seed in the mouth just like last year?
You tell me if you feel comfortable with that with Philadelphia.
Not as good as I felt about it last year going into Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas and Philly are different sorts of.
Well, it's more about how I feel about my own team going into
But also,
it.
there's a Dallas sort of like Dallas is going to Dallas, Dak is going to Dak sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely feel that way, but I just
no in general. Like
there's
McCarthy's. When was the last time Dallas won a playoff game?
Long time.
Yeah, it's been forever.
Yeah. Also, the atmosphere as a whole. Is anyone afraid to go to AT&T Stadium, to Jerry World to play the Cowboys?
I don't think
the
anymore.
Eagles have a legit home field advantage and some scary fans.
100% agree with that.
I do not want to go to Philly.
I know some Philly fans, and they scare me.
All right, let's get to green and gold blind rankings.
We all saw the game.
I know what I saw.
I know, I saw.
Now, we gotta pull back the green and gold blinders.
All right, then, keep your secrets.
Time for the green and gold blind rankings.
Alrighty, you guys know how this works. I'm going to give you 3 Packers players, and you rate them good, bad, or meh based on how they performed yesterday. Starting on the offense, we've been talking about him a lot today. Quarterback Jordan Love.
Bad.
He's mid. At best.
His $55 million.
I'll give you bad if you want to go bad. But
who else is bad?
He protected the ball for the most part.
Who else was bad?
Well, I mean, if he gets anybody on the defensive side of the ball, outside of Carrington Valentine.
Yeah, but you have to name someone that stood out specifically as bad. I can't think of a specific name. There's a lot of people that didn't do much, but I don't know if I have a name that said they stunk.
Yeah. Okay, we can go bad.
All right.
Alrighty, Jordan Love at bad. Number 2, linebacker Rashawn Gary.
Meh. He did have a tackle for loss, I believe. I did see somewhere that
2 tackles for loss.
So 2 TFLs. I mean, look,
but he had 3 tackles all game.
2 TFLs is still significant. It's meh.
Okay. Yep. Meh.
Alrighty. Last.
I hope this guy's good.
We all hold like
if you pull out some booty like
but Matt,
Lucas Van Ness, I'm gonna be so upset with you.
But Matt, we all
is that it?
Yeah.
No way.
Number 3 was Lucas Van Ness.
I knew it.
Oh yeah,
I knew it. Riley, we were doing so good with Riley playing this game, getting pretty close. This was bad.
Yeah.
We did blind rankings like Lucas Van Ness played football in Minnesota yesterday. 1 tackle.
Did he play football? Because I was
I
fine.
don't know.
I was
Technically,
fine with,
he had 1 non-solo tackle. He is on the stat sheet.
we had to eat it on that one, but all right. If we were going to do it good,
God, brutal.
If we were going to do it good, who would we do?
How do we rearrange this one?
Yes.
I think Jordan Love was good because
No, not rearrange this because he was not good. He sucked.
How would you rearrange this?
I'm saying who
to
was
fit?
good. No, I don't care about this. Who was good?
I mean, Carrington Valentine.
Okay.
Romeo Dobbs was pretty good.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't care about
I even thought Josh Jacobs was pretty good. He wasn't great.
I'm not fighting any of those.
But like just for fun, for me, how do you rearrange this? Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, Jordan Love. It's got to go Love, Gary, Ness, right?
Fine. If you really
Gary
need
Love
to,
Ness.
if you really need to Bendis to call Jordan Love good, he was not
I don't
good.
need to do that, but would you're still putting, knowing what we know now, you're still
I'm not putting
two
Jordan Love
tackles
as
for
good.
a loss?
Yes, because Jordan Love,
Okay.
we expect more out
No,
of him.
I was just curious where your head's at. Yeah, I expect more of him too. But I expect a lot more out of Rashawn Gary as well.
I don't expect anything out of Rashawn Gary. So it's probably that. But like Matt, we all agree that Jordan Love's the quarterback of this team. He's a $55 million man. He needs to play like a guy who can
Well, his
have the
completion
trust of
percentage was the same as his yearly salary. 55.
Hey now.
Hey now, that's perfect.
So
That's what you pay him
it's
for. We
on
should have paid him 65.
It's on expectation. It's on expectations for Jordan. He's your quarterback.
100%.
He makes the whole
No,
thing go.
I agree with you. I agree
You got to
with
be
you.
better than that. All right. We will take a quick break here. I want to tell you. Actually, we'll take a quick break here. We'll come back and we'll wrap up the first hour.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Proceed with caution. Legendary running back Anthony Davis joining the Jump Around in ESPN Madison Digital Show. Davis touching on the football program's recent shortcomings with transfer quarterbacks.
And we're trying to do something that's completely different than how we operate. I don't mind us using the portal when we need the portal, but I think when you talk about a quarterback, it's a high risk, high reward. If it works out, great. Maybe you have a 10-win season. The guy throws for a bunch of yards. If it doesn't work out, you're back to square one again.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. HellaWI.com.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text KING to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text KING to 321-321. That's KING to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2025 Honda HR-V LX all-wheel drive for as low as $165 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Who should be more confident in their QB? Matt LaFleur and the Packers or Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings? Right now, 57% of you say Vikings. So the line's moving a little bit there, Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge, Riley Yauk behind the glass. You can see us on ESPN Madison's YouTube. Get into the show, 844-770-3776. We're taking your calls on that. You can text in on that as well.
It makes me sick.
You also can bucket dump in general.
Please, I want to commiserate with you. I need another fan who's hurting because Jim, with his little coy smile and talking all calm like I'm the one who's crazy because I'm raising my voice, is really bothering me right now. So someone else call in and bucket dump, commiserate with me.
Sam Darnold getting paid $10 million this year.
Good for him.
Good for the Vikings.
I wish I was making $10 million this year.
Same.
I haven't thrown a pick at all this season.
Do you think the Vikings keep him?
I feel like they'd be silly not to.
I agree. At a bare minimum.
Like, they could franchise tag him.
Yep.
$40
million.
$40 million. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot, but honestly, if he plays like this, he's worth it.
He's only 27.
But if he puts up the exact same numbers here, he is worth $40 million, 100%.
It feels like he's been in the league forever.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you start your rookie season.
Wow. And then the Vikings could pull a Packers and have J.J. McCarthy sit for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And then maybe he's a lot better.
Well, I don't know what sort of, so the Vikings, I can't remember the draft. What did they give up to move up a spot? They didn't give up a first rounder, did they?
I don't believe so. I can't remember. I'll look it up quick and get back to you.
Go ahead and look into that because I don't know what
They
what
traded
is
up one
JJ
spot. They traded up one spot.
Right, I know, but
sixth rounder.
They gave
in that year.
So they traded
and a fourth rounder next year.
Okay, so still, I mean, it's
nothing
decent.
If they traded him tomorrow, you get a mid first rounder back. And
what do
you
you get for McCarthy if you were to trade him?
Probably a mid first and a fourth rounder back.
You think you can get a mid first?
Yeah. He didn't do anything to lose excitement in him.
I mean, tore his ACL.
Did he tear his ACL, or I thought it's a knee injury. But I'm just going
Either
off
way,
I listened to NFL podcasts today, and a lot of them said that the Vikings could trade him for a mid first, probably.
Well, see, that's if I'm
he
a
tore
Viking.
his meniscus.
Yeah, I didn't think it was an ACL.
So if I'm a Viking fan, I am highly considering, at least thinking that do you think J.J. McCarthy can go out there as a first-year starter in his second year in the league, never seeing full game speed playtime, and do what Sam Darnold's doing this year? And Sam Darnold at 27, you got another 4 really competitive prime years out of him?
You know what's wild?
I would say I would get rid of J.J.
Jordan Love is 26.
Well, I mean, I am fully aware of the situation. They're both the same age.
So you have 5 or 6 years of Jordan Love prime.
I'm still excited for it. I'm still into it. But what I'm saying for the Vikings,
is that
I
that's a
wouldn't
short
move
window.
off it.
At 27, you got about 7 years of prime for Sam Darnold and 8 years of prime for Jordan Love.
I was just saying to the early 30s. Typically 32 is high, top end of a lot of positions. A quarterback seems more common than not that around 32 they're out or on their way out.
You may be right. I feel like 35 is near 32 because look, Aaron Rodgers, he's
and
what?
Brady
40,
were the anomalies.
Aaron Rodgers is 41 this year. He won an MVP then at 38? I think that was probably because he won his
probably right, yeah.
MVP his second to last season in Green Bay. Because his last season in Green Bay he was terrible. Then he blew out his ACL, and then he was bad again this year.
Yep, 38.
Yeah.
Not his Achilles, but yeah.
Or, yeah, Achilles, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, I think if I'm the Vikings, if anyone's willing to deal for McCarthy, I am listening.
Oh, yeah, and you hit the nail on the head with the age. He's not he's not Rich Gannon who found a resurgent late in their 30s. Like, he is a guy or Doug Flutie. Sam Darnold has the pedigree. He has a track record. Look, and I said this about Jordan Love. You might just, at this point, with their time in the league, you might not ever get a massive jump forward for Sam Darnold, so you're going to try to pay for what you got instead of pay for what it could be. And I think that's the only thing that could hold them up. But if you can get Sam Darnold
But if Sam Darnold accepts money for what he is and not what he could be, that's a match made in heaven.
I mean,
like that $40 million? Because what's that league average?
$50 million, that would be a deal.
Well, I mean, if
the
they
Packers are
franchise
paying Jordan Love $55, no, but if the Packers are paying Jordan Love $55 million a year with massive money up front, and
for what he's done this year, that's too much. If he did, isn't it?
Then Jordan Love wasn't paid too much last year. We all agree
that's
that
what
Jordan
I'm saying.
Love
He is being paid too much right now. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you think Jordan Love? I got you.
So
but
what
I mean,
I'm saying, like,
market value.
I would accept what Sam Darnold's done this year. If he did that on the Packers, or if Jordan Love had those exact same stats, I would say he has earned his $55 million.
It is wild to think that for the next couple years, because Jared Goff is what, 30? He's not as old as we think either. Next couple years, Jordan Love could be a very good quarterback and be the third best quarterback in the NFC North.
Yeah, Jared Goff is only 30.
Yeah,
he could be the third best in the North, but the fourth or fifth best in the NFC.
Yeah, you got Jalen Hurts in that conversation.
Right, that's the only one I'm accounting for.
Look,
maybe Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is coming for him. I mean, if Jaden
Certainly
Daniels
is.
makes the jump.
He looked real good last night, too.
That said,
a couple game-winning
let's
drives.
remember all of this, like, hype that was around C.J. Stroud last year and how he was going to be fantastic. And I'm not saying he was bad this year, but he didn't progress.
Sophomore slump,
Like
yeah.
quarterback growth is never guaranteed. We don't look at. Look, Jordan Love statistically basically the same.
I mean, look at Sam Darnold. He had a late growth spurt.
Look at
he missed his first 4 years and then had a growth spurt.
Look at Josh Allen.
Look at him in his glow up.
Josh Allen, his first 2 years in the league with Buffalo was not good. They weren't winning games, and statistically, it was only meh.
But
and
he looked good because he was slinging it, and you're like, this guy's got a giant arm. He's not afraid. At least it was fun football.
So then with that, you got Michael Penix that could be out there. You got Drake May. You got Caleb Williams. You got guys who can sling the football and are making great throws. So my point is, there's none of this. Baker Mayfield fell off, and now all of a sudden he's the guy that Cleveland thought he was when they paid him.
Right.
So it is a lot about the system. So that's the one thing you have to be able to pay these quarterbacks without blowing up the whole thing. Got to have an offensive line, got to have a run game for a lot of these quarterbacks. But right now, 844-770-3776. Who's in the best situation at quarterback, the Packers or the Vikings? Right now, 58% of you say the Vikings. I'll tell you what the best situation for you to be in this holiday season. Go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in this weird, we don't know what day it is.
Yes.
Just go to the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl Happy Hour at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Get yourself a Coors Light. Have yourself a steak sandwich, and just decompress.
Splurge on the ribeye.
Splurge on the
10
ribeye.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah, go see Kevin, go see Lee, and go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Tell them that Jim, Matt, and Molly sent you. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good evening, Madison. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by the College Football Postseason on ESPN Radio. Don't miss the College Football Playoff quarterfinals beginning tomorrow and continuing all day New Year's Day right here on 100.5 ESPN and streaming free on the ESPN app recap. The Mizzou Tigers just knocked off the Iowa Hawkeyes 27-24 in the Music City Bowl, MIZ. And the Green Bay Packers in the NFL fell at 27-25 out at US Bank Stadium last night to the Minnesota Vikings. The score may be a little deceiving as the game wasn't really that close. Jordan Love had a fairly pedestrian game, going 19 for 30 with 185 yards and 1 touchdown, and he acknowledged that the road for the green and gold only gets tougher from here on out.
We're going to have to find ways when the playoffs start to go in those road atmospheres and win those tough games. But it's only going to get tougher for us. So we know that. We got to find ways to keep improving, keep getting better, watch the tape, find ways to improve on the slow start and just the miscues we had and take advantage. But we know we got to come out and play our best ball.
Second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly coming your way right about now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Mer.
I'm the flower from Mister. It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, the sports fan version of Matt is way more relatable than the sports fan version of Jim Rutledge or me. You're thinking like a radio host, which means a hardcore radio and sports person. Matt's thinking like somebody that has a job doing something else that also likes sports.
That's Matt's whole charm.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light. Oh,
Riley,
did I need to do that?
Behind the glass. We are talking about the Packers' loss to the Vikings, 27-25.
Say it again, Jim.
I'll tell you what. The Packers definitely have a puncher's chance against Detroit. Minnesota has handled their business. Honestly, out of the 8 quarters they've played, 7, easily 6 out of the 8 quarters.
6, because the fourth quarter of both games, it looked like the Packers were able to do it. But again, it's the Vikings playing, I don't want to call it soft, but it's zone defense where you keep the ball in front of you at all costs.
They don't know how to necessarily close out the game. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. Riley Yock behind the glass. And you get into the show 844-770-3776. Who should be more confident in their quarterback, Matt LaFleur and the Packers, or Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings? And it's one of the things that I read in some like different articles, like, oh, the Packers could have
plagiarizing this, Jim?
No, yeah, of course. It was, they don't want to be plagiarizing this because it's dumb things that people write. Anytime a team loses, and every beat writer is guilty of this, but every time a team loses, we get into this trap of, oh, but if these things would have gone, like these handful of plays would have gone my team's way, then they would have won.
Like the neutral zone infraction?
No, like
on the field
Jaden
goal,
Reed dropped
win by
the
a
slant.
point?
But
because everything else would have happened the exact same.
But also, like, in this imaginary world,
true.
Like, Tom Brady even called it out. Sam Darnold was not pressured, dropped back, and missed an easy pitch and catch to Justin Jefferson that would have put him at 1st and goal instead of having to kick that field goal. There was nothing to pack. That was an unforced error. Like, they do this whole unforced error thing. Obviously, the unforced error of just missing the 40-yard kick. So every team, whether you win or lose, there are plays in the game that there are unforced errors. Like Sam Darnold's interception was not an unforced error. He should have made a better decision, but there was at least a little bit of pressure that forced him to
and a sneaky scheme. That
Yes.
like when you kind of took that, they have that like cable cam that's behind.
Yes.
When you're standing, when you got
You
to
didn't
watch that
see
replay
Valentine
behind, you didn't see Valentine until he just kind of like creeped out from
Yep.
behind the linebacker.
Right. So
there.
that's not an unforced error. That's just the Packers making a play. But Sam
Right.
Darnold missing an easy pitch and catch just because he rushed the throw or just missed the throw. Like, so my point is every team, including the teams that win, can always have these plays. So I never really take those. If this happened and they could have gone this way, but okay, but if Minnesota had one thing that should have gone their way go their way, they were a half inch away from putting up another touchdown and having this game look embarrassing for the Packers. So the score is what the score is. You look at the overall statistics, the Packers are manhandled throughout the game. And that doesn't bode well, but they got bigger problems right now. They are facing Philadelphia in the eyes in the playoffs. And my opinion on the Packers hasn't changed, but if they go out and lay an egg against Chicago, and I don't even mean like lose, if they just go out and look flat against Chicago, then I don't like their chances against Philadelphia. Like if for some reason Green Bay just looks like a team, and Tauscher, who we'll talk to later, referenced this in the postgame, that he didn't say it like this, but he's like, the Packers need to go out and just beat the snot out of the Bears just so they can feel good about themselves going to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
If the Bears let this game beat them twice, if the Packers let this game beat them twice, or at least even look flat against Chicago, then I might have a slightly different opinion about what the Packers can do. Winning 3 games on the road to get to the Super Bowl is Herculean. And obviously we remember the times it happens, but that's because it's very rare.
Well, it happened to us, so it's
Right.
like we think it can happen.
It can happen. It's just not how you want to do it.
It's so unlikely. It's only happened, 3 times in Super Bowl history that the road team has been able to do it?
Exactly. And in Minnesota, though, I said nothing would change about them, and nothing changes. Same thing. Nothing changes about the Packers, except for I might have a different opinion.
I have lower confidence in the Packers for
I want to
sure.
see how they play against the Bears. But then the Vikings, if they go and beat Detroit and get the 1 seed, they really look like a team going to the Super Bowl.
They look like a team who's definitely competing with either Philly or Detroit for it. I really think it's a toss-up.
Philly's good. I haven't seen enough of Philly. I'm really focusing on the North because we see a lot of the North.
My whole thing with Philly, and we know that Jalen Hurts is good, but if teams are somehow able to actually shut down Saquon,
the man who rushed for 2,000 yards, one of less than 10 running backs in NFL history to do it in the time frame he did it.
Yeah. I mean that guy. Again, I'm not saying it's an easy task, but if you make them one-dimensional as passers because you're selling out for the run every time, I still think Jalen's good enough to beat most defenses, right?
Here's the thing. Jalen Hurts has proven he can take his team to the Super Bowl.
100% he has.
So Philadelphia, I don't disagree with you. Let's get to Don't Quote Me.
We're not saying it's gonna happen.
Let it ride!
But if it does, then we want credit.
Say that again, because that is an amazing take.
I told you all.
If not, well...
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said...
Alrighty, let's run through these Don't Quote Me predictions you guys had for the Packers-Vikings game. Starting with the one that ended up being the closest, Jason Wilde predicted a Carrington Valentine pick 6, and he was about 15 yards away from actually pulling it off. Yes, and he was much closer to giving the ball right back to the Vikings.
Yeah.
Matt, were you still at the bar when that happened?
Yes.
What was that whole interaction like at the bar?
Well, so I have one Viking friend amongst my friends that were hanging out, and I think there was one other Viking fan in the bar. And yeah, it was pure elation that we had that pick, and he was running it back, and you heard people yelling, "Go, go!" Right? And then there was a collective, "Oh no!" So thank goodness Brooks was there. I don't know his first name. I'm just going to assume
Carl
it's Robert.
Brooks. Yep. Carl.
Robert Brooks, 87. Scoop that one. Lineman.
Yeah, so Jason Wilde almost got it. So close, but also Carrington Valentine almost blew that play. Now going back to Jim, Aaron Jones gets at least 150 total yards and 2 touchdowns plus outgains Josh Jacobs.
How did Jones finish? I mean, I know he didn't do this, but how did he finish? I know he didn't finish the game healthy. And honestly,
rushing yards, he only had
47. And Josh Jacobs had 69.
But he had an additional 30 through the air. So he did outgain Josh Jacobs.
No, and he would have had, at best, 1 touchdown, but his age flashed because he had an open spot, and I don't know who it was for the Packers, but
yeah,
Aaron
roped
Jones,
him down from behind. He
Aaron
was
Jones
close.
2 years ago is in that end zone, but Aaron Jones had one of those moments where the age caught up to him because he was tracked down from behind by the Packers because he had a clear path to the end zone. I think the Vikings scored 2 plays later.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Can we also throw this out that, I know Josh Jacobs isn't a pass-catching back, but we have used him a lot in the passing game this year. I don't even think he got targeted yesterday.
It's a good question.
I can actually check that. Yeah, he wasn't even targeted. That's the whole not using Reed, we're not going to throw it to Josh Jacobs. I just don't understand. Like, I want to just blindly believe and trust Matt LaFleur, but I'm starting to think that sometimes I think he thinks he's a little too smart for his own good. I think sometimes he beats himself and overthinks it.
Yeah, and there is...
do less better. And that's kind of what I think he needs to start using as a mantra.
Maybe we'll get to the Chewy stuff on Thursday, but right now the Packers across the board, whether it's LaFleur or Goody or Jordan Love, and this all can be rewritten in the playoffs, they all look good, not great. A lot of stuff for the Green Bay Packers looks good, not great.
Right. Yeah.
Well, let's look at another one of these good bold predictions.
Yeah. Speaking of good, Matt's prediction. Jordan Love throws over 300 passing yards.
Close.
And 0 interceptions. There you go.
Yeah, okay, we're close.
Plus, Sam Darnold throws 2 interceptions. So you're about a quarter of the way, I guess, collectively.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, it was... I'm going to say I won.
No.
Objectively wrong.
I said
though.
I am going to say. I didn't expect y'all to agree.
Yes. All right, let's get to Molly. Molly, I don't know if she's just too isolated. She's been coming in with some crazy wild takes.
Jair Alexander will play.
Idiot.
That's the most outlandish one of the bunch, I think.
I agree.
And Justin Jefferson will get less than 50 receiving yards. I like that one. However, he ended up with 92.
Justin Jefferson and
it felt like a quiet game for him for the most part.
The NFC North opponents I don't know how much you guys watch, but obviously I'm a Bears fan and I watch all the Packer games. So I see these teams play a lot. And every time I still see Justin Jefferson, I'm like, goodness, the man explodes once he's got great hand, obviously catch radius and great hands. But when he gets the ball, he got the ball in the middle of the field for like a shorter pass against the Packers, I think second half, and he caught it. And the way he took off like Sonic the Hedgehog, I thought he was going to run through the 3 Packer defenders that got pushed back a good 3 or 4 yards when they brought him down. Because he just gets to top speed so fast that there was a hot second where I was like, he might just run through them all. And I wouldn't blame them for missing the tackle. Like, that does not look like fun to tackle.
I mean, all 3 of those receivers looked unbeatable. Jordan Addison looked like he had glue on his hands all day.
Yeah, their third receivers.
All of their receivers just looked otherworldly compared to ours
Naylor,
last night. It was
Jalen Naylor, their top 3 wide receivers are sick.
They're dogs.
Yeah.
They're dogs. Moving on to the last, but certainly not least prediction from Ryan. Primetime Willisheim. Packers defense gets more sacks and takeaways than the Vikings. Plus, Josh Jacobs outgains Aaron Jones. Pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah, but
yeah,
kind of. Jacobs did not outgain him because overall yards.
I guess, are we talking? So when you guys specify outgain, it means receiving and rushing yards? Okay.
Yes. And then they had one more same amount of takeaways.
Yeah, because of the Josh Jacobs fumble.
And then I would imagine.
And then there was 3 sacks on Love, one on Darnold.
So, again, kind of like Matt's like...
I mean, I was more right than Ryan.
You know what the term like
snippets?
Someone's like sneaky athletic. Jordan Love, for like how big and strong he looks.
Sneaky unathletic.
Yeah. Every
of
time I'm
savage.
Like, the guy's got space. He's going to get a few yards and then just like moving the tight. He's honestly reminds me like Roethlisberger. Like a big, like he's hard to bring down.
Yeah.
Like he's hard to actually sack and tackle, but he's not hard to catch.
I mean, there was that one play. He got out of the pocket, and it looked like he was going to make the edge, and then all of a sudden, their edge rusher was just there, and he's like, oh, here's another back foot, off balance, like falling throw.
Yeah.
Incomplete.
Yeah, rushing ability, I'd take Aaron Rodgers in his prime than Jordan Love right now. Because Aaron Rodgers he was slippery.
He's like...
Here's the thing, I think Jordan Love could if Jordan Love thought to run.
No, I don't think he can.
Because his pocket awareness is really good. Like he can sense the pressure.
Yeah.
And if he just went forward instead of out around to like boot around, he'd probably be able to.
There was another play last night too where like the Red Sea parted for him right in the front. He takes off and then just tripped up from behind and he gets like 2 yards when it looked like it should have been 15.
Yeah.
And maybe he just doesn't have the quick feet The agility.
I don't
Just
know.
not there.
I don't know.
So Ben Roethlisberger, I don't know his weight, but 6'5".
It was like 300.
No, 6'5",
260.
235 in his prime.
Oh my God, 235 in his prime. What is
Like,
that
I
like?
think you're thinking of old Roethlisberger when he was going to the Super Bowl and was legit.
Built like a brick S house.
6'5", 235, 240 is big. But all right, my point is Jordan Love is 6'4", 220, and obviously it's not as hefty. But he reminds me more of Roethlisberger in the pocket, which the reason why Roethlisberger, you got him going. He's hard to bring down, but it just felt like forever to get up to top speed.
I remember some games,
but also
Packers,
had great pocket
Packers
awareness.
versus Roethlisberger. There would be guys literally draped on the man, and he would still sling the ball 15 yards forward and get. He's sacked.
And we've seen Jordan Love make some throws like that.
Yep. And I love that he's always looking to throw and not just happy feet looking to get out of the pocket, but. Probably true.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he's like, hey, we are not gaining the yards on the ground. I'm running.
That ball, that first down marker is 4 yards away. Unless you're clocking me with a sundial, we are done. All right. Let's hear Molly talk about Carbon World Health.
Matt and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Hey, it's ESPN Madison's Molly Brown. You've heard Jim Rutledge talk about Carbon World Health for years now about his experience with semaglutide, their 6-week experience, and all the ways he's changed his body and health. And I'm so excited to get my journey started at their new location in Sun Prairie at the Prairie Lakes Shopping Center. It's more of a med spa vibe there, so they've got the Botox, the injections, M-Sculpt, IV therapy, all the things. Go check them out. Tell them Molly from Jim, Matt, and Molly sent you.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's ALL to 321-321.
Make this December one to remember at Metro Ford of Madison. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $16.26 per thousand borrowed. Or check out the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 75 months, $13.33 per thousand. These holiday specials won't last forever, so head to Metro Ford of Madison today.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
It's my nature to be fearless.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
One day it's all gonna end. What am I scared of?
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
I've airball free throws. I've turned the ball over. I've missed game-winning shots.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
I don't care, man. I only live once. Can't go back.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
There's nothing for me to fear.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Presented by Coors Light. Come on, Jim Blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, Coors Light. There's not enough Coors Light in the Hamilton fridge right now. For how many times you've said the Packers lose to the Vikings today, there's not enough beers in my fridge.
I need some Coors Light. I just need to stock my Coors Light back up in my fridge.
That's a you mistake. I'm always stocked with cold Blue Mountain Coors Light in my fridge.
Give me a Costco run or something, get some more Coors Light. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Riley Yauk behind the glass.
What you should do is just take your pay in Coors Light like I do. Then you're never out.
There you go. I should.
It doesn't appreciate that great, but you can use it.
That is very true. Who should be more confident in their quarterback, Matt LaFleur and the Packers or Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings? Right now, 60% of you say the Vikings. So it's shifting back the other way. We got Mark Tauscher coming up, and we also are going to wrap up the show a little bit off of what Matt Hamilton's going to bring up here in Throwing Stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Alrighty, Matt. I believe you have a stone to throw at us for this segment.
Yes, I do. And I'm going to rephrase. It's not at you because you guys have nothing to do with this. And I know if I got a gift from either of you guys, it would have been fantastic. But what I'm wondering, post-Christmas, got a couple days. You've got time to let your gifts kind of sink in. You've brought them home. You've started to unpack it into your house, figure out where all these new things go.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about the gifts you don't like? Maybe it was Christmas Day and you got a shirt that wasn't your style. Maybe you got a shirt Christmas Day and when you took it home, tried it on, it doesn't fit. How do you go about either asking for a gift receipt or telling somebody that they might have Josh Jacobs and dropped the ball on that gift?
You know, I'm fortunate. My family typically, maybe this says something about how we give gifts, but they always give the receipt with the gift. So I'm never stressing about, sorry, Mom.
Right.
I really hate this. She's always out front. And is like, yeah, here's the receipt. Like, just try it on, make sure it fits. If not, we can run to the store tomorrow in a couple days.
Right.
So I never stress about that. And I mean, you have my grandma, my mom's mom, so maybe my mom's doing the opposite. But sometimes she'll give us a gift and be like, oh, That's tough. Like, there's no receipt. Sorry. Like,
right. Yeah.
You
So
just
what do
get
you
it.
do there?
Then I just regift it, throw it in a white elephant down the line, or if it's something nice, use it in a gift exchange. Or like we had the GKB Secret Santa, give it to someone there.
We did
what? There are ways to.
Yeah, I didn't know about the Secret Santa.
We got an email about it. I got my gift
why
today.
I missed it. That's why I missed it. That's fair.
Same.
Yeah. Well, I participated. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no, somebody from this show should.
All
Me
right.
and Jim are both curmudgeons,
I
apparently.
guess so.
Yeah.
Especially about reading work participation.
Jim's
emails.
the real one I'm curious on because he's a guy who's got everything. Right? Like, Riley, you're a
Yes.
young man. You're still accruing stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So me and
Riley,
Jim
I
are
would
of the
say-
age we have everything we want that we'll just go out and buy it. So
True.
Jim, what do you do when
Well,
you get a gift you
I'll
don't
give
love?
a piece of advice to Riley. The other thing you can do is if the tags are on it, a lot of times you can return something for store credit.
Okay.
Especially if you do it around that time. I've done
Okay.
that before when I was younger and more in your spot of like, sometimes you're like, you know what, I need clothes and this is too big. So or I can at least try to exchange it, or if you hate it. A lot of times you can go in, because my mom, as most moms are in Wisconsin, big Kohl's person.
Yes.
So like Kohl's
Yeah.
they're
Kohl's
pretty
cash.
They're pretty liberal with their return policy. Like,
yeah. This looks like it came from here.
right.
We'll take it.
So we'll sell it, whatever.
What, you want some store credit?
yeah.
Here's $100 in Kohl's cash.
Yeah.
Great. You want some? You want a Packers stock too? We'll give it to
Yeah.
you. Same value as Kohl's cash. But anyways, the
Get out of here. Kohl's cash is
But I
much
would
more
say-
valuable.
But I would, it's true. You can buy something with Kohl's
Yeah,
cash.
yeah. Right now,
The Packers should do the ultimate thing on a side note and work with Kohl's in a partnership that you're paid dividends in Kohl's cash for your Packers stock.
Return on investment.
Yes.
yeah. I'm in for that.
They get you in the door. You get
Yeah.
$30 in Kohl's cash. All right. Nobody's going to spend just $30 at Kohl's. That gets you 30 things. You want like 50 things from Kohl's. But anyways, you just take something, even if it was like a different style, but all right, can I just change, it's a button-down shirt. I don't like this colorway. I can I change that? And so like that would be my suggestion. 99. I feel like all places have a pretty easy exchange policy.
Yeah. I think it's gotten easier over time.
Because nowadays there's a couple things. One, like for the kids, my parents just ask. So then it's like, this is what you're going to get, and this is the size. And so don't mess it up. And if you mess it up, I'm just going to tell you messed it up. Now, one thing with the kids is...
Wait, are they telling you or are they telling the kids?
I'm telling the parents of like, here's what you should get our kids. Here's what they want.
Okay, so that's what you're telling your parents
Yes.
and your wife's parents. Okay.
Yes, the kids. So there was one time Rosie got an album that she wasn't a big fan of the artist. She's not a fan of the artist, but Rosie's all in on Taylor Swift. So like she wants all the Taylor Swift albums first. And so I just told them, I'm like, hey, this album has a few swear words in it. We don't necessarily want her to have it, and like we could. So I just bit the bullet on it and just kind of lied a little bit, and we returned it. But then my dad last year got me something that he got me like I have like a cat, like what's the Blackstone flat
grill.
top?
Yeah.
But I have all the, again, because I have everything I need. Like I have all the grill stuff to clean it. And it's like he gave me this thing, and in my head I'm like, the whole time he's over, I'm like, well, do I tell him or I just wait it out and wait like 6
what do you
months?
mean?
Like just clean the top of the grill and like
Like
just
a
like
grill brush.
yeah,
or something
grill brush
like that.
and some.
But
some-
it's a Blackstone. It's a Blackstone, right?
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has different cleaning stuff. It's
It
got
does,
like the
but
pumice stone.
Yeah, but I
thing.
have all. I had bought all that when I bought it. So like I had
okay.
enough that like this was gonna sit around for like a year probably.
Gotcha.
So it's like I could just pocket it and sit around for a year, but I'm like, no, I would rather just get myself something I'll actually.
Right.
So I just told him like, hey, like I literally just bought this like 3 months ago, like this exact thing because he got it at Costco, and I'm like, I was like, I have this exact same thing. If I'm gonna have it, I'm gonna have to wait 6 months to a year to use it again. Like, can I just get the gift receipt?
Right.
He did. He gave me a receipt, so
Okay.
it was fine. So like that
So you
was
just
one of
talked
those
to
times.
him.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'll let you in on my predicament. This is a gift from my sister, and she knows I like to cook. Everybody on these airwaves know I like to cook.
Yes.
She got me those like gravity salt and pepper mills. So when you like turn them over, like a light turns on and they run, but when you like flip them back right side up, they don't. I've got a little dish for salt. Like, first of all, I would never salt like that. You gotta like pinch, you gotta touch it, you gotta feel it.
Yeah.
So you know how much salt's going
Tactile.
on. You gotta actually use your hands to like give it a pinch of salt. Like, how does one turn over a pepper mill and do a pinch of salt? I don't
Is
know.
it so does
And
that
then
have
I
the
have,
peppercorns
like,
in it and it grinds them?
And it'll grind it.
Okay.
Like when it turns over, it turns on. Like the gravity of feeling it being flipped over will turn the unit on. It lights up what you're doing, and it's super convenient. But, like, I've got a really nice pepper mill that I bought it was a La Crusade. Like, I splurged on it. And then, like, again, it's a fancy cooking thing. People that cook will know. And then, yeah, I got, like, a little dish for my salt so I can, like, actually do a pinch so I can see how much salt I'm actually putting in. And she gave me this gift and no gift receipt. And it's, like, it's thoughtful. So I didn't want to say I didn't love it. Like, oh, hey, thanks, Beck. I'm never going to use those. Right? Like, I can't say that. So I think, Riley, you might have given me the idea. I'm going to hold on to this until, like, there's a white elephant Christmas. Or maybe I'll get in on
stuff, right?
a GKB thing. Yeah. Or maybe my sister will buy a house and I'll give her a housewarming present of salt and pepper grinders. But it was just like, dang, because that is a thoughtful gift. It's for someone who likes to cook. Mm-hmm. Here's a way that you can cook, and you don't need two hands to do pepper or salt, right? They grind it for you. It's one-hand operation. Thoughtful, but I don't want it.
Yeah, just re-gift it. When in doubt, re-gift.
I think it's going to be re-gifted because, yeah, she didn't give me the receipt, and I don't have the cojones to be like, hey, Becca, you got the gift receipt for those pepper mills? Because those are some booty cheeks. Like, what am I going to say to that?
Dear sister of mine, I love you. However, this was a terrible present.
Yeah, missed the mark.
I just feel like she'd be more upset that you don't use it.
Well, but that's the other thing. She comes over to my house from time to time. Like, she's going to see they're not out.
Next time she comes over and you cook for her, she's probably going to be looking for the salt and pepper shakers.
You're going to have to own it.
I'll own them until next Christmas when I can give them away again.
Just say, hey, super thoughtful, but you forgot I'm incredibly pretentious.
I might just
I splurged on a pepper shaker.
I think I'm just going to send Becca the link to the show.
There
I hope she listens long enough to get to the part where I'm like, your gift was crap.
I guess if you really want to,
you can put it at Jim, Matt, and Molly. What should Matt Hamilton do with the gift he got from at Becca Hamilton?
Or if you have a good trade, I'd be willing to trade.
We can barter.
We can barter.
Someone call in.
Automatic salt and pepper shakers.
Would you even autograph it for him?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Or I feel like if you really want to like deceive your sister per se, you can just only use them when she comes over. Just have them in storage, have them ready to use.
Stock them with peppers. When she comes over, like, oh, we got to pull the pepper mill out.
Exactly.
Oh my, that's way more work than I'm willing to put in. Right? I like where your head's at. That's the kind of conniving that I am.
Sometimes you got to be
when it comes to siblings,
scheme a little bit.
That's a lot of effort.
But that is way more effort. I will forget, and then she'll ask and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we don't ever use those. That's why they're in the back of the cupboard."
Yeah,
truth will come out eventually.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna send her the link to the show, and if she doesn't listen, that was my attempt at being honest.
What, you didn't listen? You didn't listen?
I said on the show that I hated it. I told all of our listeners that you were terrible at giving gifts.
I told the world because we stream worldwide.
Yeah. I guarantee we've got a listener in Switzerland right now laughing his butt off that I said no to Becca's present.
Loser. No, this is Jim, Matt, and Coors Light.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Are you frustrated because you can't seem to lose that unwanted weight or keep it off long term? It may not be your fault. Your metabolism might be sabotaging your results. We found that clients on average had a metabolic age 27 years older than their actual age. If that's you, how much harder would it be to lose or maintain your weight? At Madison Weight Loss, our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. To learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and everyone's always looking for ways to be healthier and lose weight as we start a new year. Contact the team at Madison Weight Loss. Do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days and be empowered with the proven tools to keep it off once and for all. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
What did you call yourself, Thundercat? Well, I appreciate it, Thunder.
Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Matt Hamilton, help me out. Who is that?
Wisconsin football analyst.
You know what? It feels like Molly's the only one that's being sincere about that. So, Molly, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
We are thrilled to be joined by Mark Tauscher. He did a great job on Green Bay game night last night. I saw some of the clips with him and Homer. And, Mark, I want to get into your thoughts on the game. I wanted to Chewy had some interesting thoughts, too. But Matt Hamilton, last segment, had an interesting take on gifts that you got that you don't want and what do you do with them, Matt. So I'll let you ask your question to Mark, and then we'll get to football stuff.
Yeah, Mark, you ever get like a gift that you know is thoughtful but you just don't want or need? Because I got one. Sure. I got one this year for Christmas. I got some salt and pepper shakers for my sister. They're like the automatic ones that you just got to turn over and then they start grinding. Very nice. I love to cook, so obviously nice gift, but not what I wouldn't use them.
Not nice enough for Matt Hamilton.
I wouldn't use them for other reasons. Not that they don't work; they work fine. But I was curious, like, what do you do with gifts that aren't your favorite? Like, do you ask for the gift receipt? Do you just bite the bullet and own it, hide it for a year, and then throw it away? Throw it into a white elephant? Like, what's your play?
I think you just take the gift, because normally people give you gifts, like a receipt with it.
Right. I didn't get one this year.
Oh, she didn't give you one?
Yeah.
I think you just shoot straight with her. Say, listen, I appreciate the effort, but we're going to return this, and I would appreciate the gift receipt. And if she doesn't, then just eat it and bring it out when she shows up. That would be, I mean, those are your two options, right? You don't really have another choice. And it's a tricky conversation to ask for that gift receipt. So
yeah,
you're a successful dude. You're a gold medalist. You got a hit radio show. Just eat it.
Yeah.
Keep it, and then just pull it out when she shows up.
That's what I said. Matt's afraid of his sister, apparently, though.
I mean, I'm afraid of hurting her feelings. She's a delicate flower, and she doesn't have to do radio all the time.
She's not 12.
She hasn't had the Jim Rutledge experience, so she's not ready for this kind of negativity.
Great, I set you up for.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it. Like, if you really are looking at it, she probably loved the fact that you cook, and she's trying to find you a gift.
Mm-hmm.
She got you a gift. Just eat it. Yeah, I don't think it's worth getting her all upset about.
Yeah. My other thought was just send her the link to the show, and if she doesn't listen, then she'll never find out.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, too.
Perfect. That's it.
Mark, after the game, you had a lot of interesting thoughts, but one of them stuck to me was your insight into Coach LaFleur's sideline demeanor. And I wanted you to just kind of bring it to our audience, but also just kind of go a little deeper on how you think that could maybe negatively affect the team or how he can change it going forward to maybe help the team, whether it's obvious reasons or just maybe even just kind of that sort of subtle way that it can help the team by him just being a little bit more calm on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot of reaction, and some positive, some negative. But I think you're the captain of that ship, and it's like if you're on a flight, or if you're, somebody called into our show this morning and said it's like the horse knows when the rider is pushing, when they're pushing the envelope. And I think when you're in a big moment, you want to be as calm and you want to play as freely as you can. There's going to always be pressure on players and on coaches. And I think as you continue to grow, you understand that how you lead and how you put your demeanor out there is going to be looked at by your team. And I just thought yesterday, and we've seen this a bunch this year, this isn't the first time I've made this comment about when he's challenging things, and he wants it so bad. You can see it, and I love that about him, that he's passionate and that he wants to win. So you want to have a little bit of that, but you also want to make sure that you're kind of dialed in and are even-keeled, because you can't ride that wave. You can't, expect that emotional high to be there all the time. Sometimes you got to just let stuff go. And I feel like, he was really demonstrative after the bad penalty that they called on the field goal. And guys, it just felt like yesterday was a missed opportunity, because Green Bay it wasn't a playoff game for Green Bay. Green Bay was going to be a 5, 6, or 7 seed. Mm-hmm. That's where we were at. It should have been more of a free flow game, and I felt like Minnesota should have been feeling the pressure, and I didn't sense that was the case. And I think Matt LaFleur should definitely take a look at why that played out the way it did.
I mean, I think you're 100% right. One of our curling team's biggest issues in the last couple of years was one or two players would either get too high or too low depending on the game flow. And especially if you're low, you're going to bring other people down with you, regardless of whether it was merited or not. Being the leader of that team, people look up to you. And if you're down or angry or upset with something, it's going to have a trickle-down effect with the rest of the players on your team.
Well, and it can't always be there's going to be stuff that goes against you. And the part of the deal is you have to be able to overcome it. And when you're, constantly looking at it and it's a big deal and everything's a big deal, then the big deals aren't big deals. So you have to kind of, figure that out, and you have to be authentic to who you are. Matt LaFleur, obviously passionate guy, and he wears his emotions on his sleeve, and I don't want him to change that. I just want him to kind of understand that not everything is the end of the world. And it felt like yesterday you sensed that, you saw that, and it wasn't. The ironic part of this is I didn't feel that way when it was Aaron Rodgers under center. I think it's been the last couple of years. And I think he wants it so bad. And I love that. But Dick Bennett came on our show a few years ago, and it's one of my all-time favorite quotes that I had never really thought of. But you have to, when you want something so bad, you got to hang on loosely. You can't tighten up, because eventually your grip's going to run out. You have to let things kind of go. And I think Matt LaFleur is still in that process of trying to figure out what that balance is.
So you said something interesting there. You didn't feel the same, or you didn't feel like Matt LaFleur was acting quite the same when Rodgers was on the field. Do you think when Rodgers was on the field, he definitely felt like this was viewed as more of Aaron Rodgers' team, and now that it's Matt LaFleur's team with Jordan Love, he's feeling a little bit more responsibility and pressure for this team and the results of what they do on the field?
No, I think it's just more. There's more onus on him from a leadership standpoint. I think it was more of a, co-opted partnership, and I think with Jordan, they're working towards that. But there's no doubt Matt LaFleur had to take more on, and when you take more stuff on, you feel more pressure. So it's not to say that he didn't feel pressure when there's an NFC Championship games that were at Lambeau or on the road. There's always going to be pressure. I just think there's differing layers, and now he's 6 years into this. I think he's still trying to figure out what that right balance is with a younger team. And at some point you do figure that out. And I think you've seen it with a lot of coaches. Andy Reid had to go through it. All the coaches that end up getting there kind of figure things out, and they find their way on how to best get their team ready to go right from the jump. And if you notice, I think Green Bay has struggled out of the gates in some of these big games this season. And that's something obviously they're going to have to figure out and fix if they're going to find a way to win some road playoff games.
We have this clip here from Chimura, and he was on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And obviously, this is what his take was this morning. And Riley, go ahead and just play a smaller version of it.
They're a good team. You know who doesn't win the Super Bowl?
Good teams.
Good teams.
And I just wanted your thoughts on it. Was really, honestly, I thought a pretty crystal clear and a simple take, but it really does talk about, and I think the Packers still have an opportunity to get great and get hot. But right now, I think calling them a good football team is a pretty fair description of them, which is not a bad description of them.
No, but I mean, I get what Chewy's saying, and I think in the grand scheme of things, he's right. The great teams are typically the ones that win it, but there are always examples of teams that get hot that were good and inconsistent throughout the season. You can look at our 2010 team. Mm-hmm. You can look at the Giants in their Super Bowl runs where they were low seeds. It happens. And the NFL is different than the NBA. You don't see a ton of 7 and 8 seeds in the playoffs win because it's just too tough of a road. This is one of those years that it looks like to me the NFC is as wide open as it's been. There's not a prohibitive favorite. You obviously have teams that have elevated themselves. Green Bay, for as much as I wanted to say that they were in that group, I can't sit here in good faith watching what has played out. Minnesota, Detroit, and Philadelphia have all beaten the Green Bay Packers, and they're all better when it comes to regular season football. But there have been plenty of stories. You can look back at New England when they beat the Jets with a butt fumble, and they beat them by 50 points. Then they have to go to Foxborough and play in a playoff game, and what happened? New England got beat. So playoffs are a whole different animal. And I think for all Packer fans that are looking at it saying, well, they have no chance, it's over. Yeah, maybe, but it's not over until it's over. And I do think this team, with this season, the way it's played out, they have not gotten over the hump yet. But I would disagree with Chewy that there have been plenty of teams that have been good throughout most of the preseason that got great in the postseason. That can happen too, and Green Bay is right there. And if they can, let's say they sit there at the 7th seed, which is more than likely what's going to happen, you don't tell me if they go and knock off Philly in that first round, everybody's going to look at it and say, ooh. But until you do that, you're going to be sitting here and saying, well, they haven't beaten anybody any good. And that's a fair assessment of where this team is.
Against the NFC North, Jordan Love has completed 61% of his passes. He's 1-4, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,300 yards. Statistically, probably the worst quarterback against the NFC North compared to all the other quarterbacks. Does this surprise you that he struggled against the NFC North?
It does. I mean, but he hasn't played the Bears twice. So I think those numbers might look a lot better after. You're also looking at 2 quarterbacks that have played really good football, both with the Vikings and with Detroit. And how many times do you see where, you have 2 teams that one team's going to have 14 wins more than likely, ended up in a 5 slot? It just doesn't happen. It shows to the greatness of the NFC North outside of the Bears this year. And so am I surprised by Minnesota? I am. I am completely surprised. I'm not shocked that the Detroit Lions are as good as they are, and I'm not surprised Green Bay, most seasons, you look at it and say, man, really good season.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be all about the postseason, or you're going to say, well, it was a good year, but it could have been better, and that's where Green Bay's at right now.
Our poll question, who should be more confident in their QB, Matt LaFleur and the Packers or Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings? Right now, 58% of fans say Vikings.
Well, you can say that now, and I think that's fair. Sam Darnold was great yesterday. Jordan Love was not. We'll see. In the postseason, who would you rather have long term? I'm going to go Jordan Love. But for yesterday and what we've seen throughout this season, and not to make excuses, Jordan Love has missed time. He's been injured for part of the season. Sam Darnold has played better this season than Jordan Love has. That's, I don't think, really up for debate. But we'll see what Minnesota decides to do after the season, if they're going to go with their young player or they're going to pay Sam Darnold a big chunk of money to stay. And if I'm betting, I don't think they're going to give him a huge chunk of money. I think they're going to go young, and that tells you a lot about how they view it. But we shall see.
Mark, great stuff. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. See you guys.
That's Mark Tauscher. I don't think you liked some of my Jordan Love stats there.
No, he didn't.
Because he kept on trying to take shots at the Bears, and I didn't feel like fighting back that Caleb is statistically better in the NFC North by a landslide over Jordan Love. But I didn't want to get into that.
I appreciate you not getting into it.
But
because I don't want to get into it either.
You could be a winner. Go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Packers have one win in the NFC North. That's more than Caleb. So Jordan is definitely more of a winner than Caleb Williams so far in the NFC North. You can go be a winner at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner. Go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Dennis Semrau from Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania here on 100.5 ESPN. We're very excited to partner with UW Credit Union to help bring you even closer to the stories of great young student athletes. Each week, as part of this season of Prep Mania, will feature the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. UW Credit Union is proud to support local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And just like the fantastic student athletes we'll be telling you about all season, UW Credit Union's online banking also goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. UW Credit Union is here for you, presenting the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
He's coming out, 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 he's coming out. It's there.
JK Security Solutions. I'm going to say this on the air, and you're just going to have to understand that I won't say it off the air, but it's a little off the air joke. That's what she said, Riley. All right. Matt Hamilton.
Oh! I get that joke.
We don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, we don't. And you had to start with that.
He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge.
See, I don't even remember what I said. I'm going to have to process this after the show ends, and I'll figure it out from there.
We said we had to get into the segment, and then we had to get out of the segment. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get right out of the segment. Yeah. Thanks for listening back. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Oh, now we're firing up the music?
Yeah, now we have 30 seconds.
This happens all the time.
I know.
We finished too early.
Classic
what do we do?
Jim and Matt.
We'll cuddle up and tell you about J&K Security Solutions to make up for it. Jeff Kim and Jeffrey at J&K Security Solutions, family-owned business, veteran-owned business, and a business far classier than the show that Matt and I do. You missed any of today's show, listen back, Wisconsin on the Men, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places.
Bears still suck. Go Pack, go. See you later.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our